In today's story, we get to enjoy one of my favorite duels in the entire series, a duel between... I haven't even gotten to the intro, man. Like, I had this whole thing planned, dude. It's just like, really? I had a whole thing. Roll it. Get ready for the best episode ever, all my fellow and feature outlaws. This is Card Games vs. Humanity, and I'm that NAKAK-double-G. Here with a recap of that episode I've been waiting for quite some time, and I promise you it has nothing to do with the copious amounts of violence that somehow made it past. So if you enjoyed, don't forget that sub, that bell, that like, become a member of the channel or the Patreon if you want to support me. Leave a comment telling me if you, the viewing audience, have any questions regarding how our heroes are outside this warehouse already. One of them simply being like, how did that happen? Where are they exactly? And weren't they just in a robot factory? Oh, look, the Kaiba brothers are here too, because of course the desert area leads to a warehouse facility. That's just strong logical world building right there. Can I get a world map?
Look, Seto, it's Tristan! Finally, a friendly face.
Mokuba, I'm like 99% sure that you two have never even interacted before. Hey, watch out, because Tristan's got a stick and he's jumping off this 2-story building in an attempt to slice Kaiba in two. And no, the fact that Tristan just jumped off a 2-story building and took no damage doesn't really surprise me anymore. What does surprise me is the high level of violence that the show seems to be getting away with right now. Now I know what you're thinking. That tactic worked on a rare hunter in the real world. Why was it so easily blocked by a stick in the virtual one? You're also thinking what kind of a total loser throws a card in the middle of a fight. And you know what? You're fucking right. Turns out that it's not Tristan at all. It's actually Nesbitt here to take revenge on a Kaiba who grabs a metal pipe to defend himself. Unfortunately, this is not a card game or a highly advanced hologram, so it is easily parried out of his hands as everyone else shows it conveniently right now to watch. Due to his natural must, Tristan tends to attract all kinds of vermin, just like this robotic monkey that comes out of nowhere to attack him. Luckily, the actions of this crazed individual manage to save Kaiba from destruction. And even though it's quickly thrown to the side, an unexpected hero manages to swoop in and save the day.
This is getting too weird!
First of all, Joey definitely cheated because he didn't even have 5 seconds to hold down the B button. What you just saw was the result of that sweet chin music training with legendary master Shawn Michaels at a mere 50%. Rumor has it if he goes at 100%, it crashes the virtual world immediately. Because this is the most violent episode I've ever seen, Tristan finds a motorcycle in about 3 seconds, turning it up and nearly running over everyone before definitely not brutally punching Mokuba in the face and riding off with him in the distance. Hey, what's that weird monkey doing over there behind them? Serenity wants to love it, Duke and Joey want to kill it. Not at all a giant difference of perceptions between characters displayed in about 5 seconds or anything.
This little guy risked his life to save Kaiba.
I guess that's a good thing.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another example that his hatred for Kaiba is the only thing on the planet that can make Joey actually sound clever. That legitimately was funny, though. Back to Kaiba, who's back to being a badass again after losing twice in a row. Chasing after Nesbitt on his own bike and just casually jumping over this bridge that had no ramp or elevation for him to do so. Unfortunately, though, Mokuba will have to wait as Kaiba has to make an emergency stop. Turns out there's a Snorlax on Pokemon Go nearby in the middle of the road. I believe we have some footage.
Hey, you get out of the road!
We're just gonna pay attention to this weird guy in a trench coat that definitely was not standing there in the middle of the road when Kaiba yelled at him. And at the moment, it already seems like a fake Tristan and a dead Mokuba are way up the road already being interrupted by Noah. A Noah who himself doesn't understand why Nesbitt stole this small innocent child, unfortunately in the process slipping up and revealing his ties to the Catholic Church.
Hand the boy to me.
Okay, did they really have to cut to Kaiba and Trenchcoat Man for about 2 lines before we head back to Mokuba, who looks like he's about to have a therapy session with Noah? I mean, I'm not gonna say he doesn't need it, but it's just like, time and place, dude. Mokuba says Seto will rescue me. Noah says there's no chance in hell. Mokuba says he's already done it like 22 times already, so you really want to bet against that? Heading back to the duel that isn't actually a duel yet, Kaiba finally recognizes who this man in the trench coat is. And of course, it's actually Lecter, a very important character with very definitive qualities. Seto chooses the almighty Lord of D as his deck master, as Lecter has already taken the form of one of the most powerful monsters in the game, Lester the Molester. Equipped with a trench coat that protects him from all school zones and libraries, mainly because you know he already has a court order. Going first, he sets the monster face down with 2 back row, allowing Kaiba to take his turn and attack with Spear Dragon without even drawing. Attacking the face down monster hero Shadow Scout, where he would be forced to, oh no, draw 3 cards, and oh no, discard the magic cards to the graveyard, and oh no, keep the rest. That couldn't backfire 90% of the time, oh no. Kaiba sits a back row face down before ending his turn. Oh wait, no, I was wrong. Lecter actually activates Solemn Wishes in the end phase. Actual strategy in this duel, that's just not something I'm used to. Increasing his life points every time he draws before setting another monster in another back row because control strategies make me horny. I mean happy.
Activate trap card! Mask of Perplexity! What is this? I can hardly see!
Alright, I'm gonna attack with Spear Dragon. Could you stop it? I'm gonna activate Mass Perplexity. Okay, what's that do? 1 sec. I forgot the thing. I'll go grab it. Where are you going? Alright, now put this on your face. What? Yeah, right on your face. What is that?
Put that on your face.
No, I'm not gonna do that. What card is?
Put
What
it
are
on
you
your
doing?
face.
Because that entire situation was completely useless and basically amounted to what ended up just being another attack guidance armor. I was actually quite pleased, saying that he wanted to destroy his giant germ so he could activate his crush card virus. Even though that card has absolutely nothing to do with the monster being destroyed and only needing to be tributed, so he could have just activated it before he attacked. Unfortunately, though, his crush card is destroyed immediately by the effect of Lecter's Deckmaster ability. A monster that can destroy traps? Why, it must be Cliff the Trap Destroyer, right? Kaiba only knows of one monster in the entire game that has the power to destroy traps. It must be Jinzo. Yes, the one monster in the entire game, even though back then there was definitely more than one. But not only is it Jinzo, it's Lecter, the former right-hand man of Father Kaiba, who was set to take over the company. Set to take over the company before he was forced out by a Kaiba who was not 18 yet. We introduced a new character, so it's flashback time. Back to a time when Father Kaiba said that Seto's formal education is now over. It's time to learn some street smarts, aka being a deceptive asshole that no one can trust. Sending him 10 million of his own money and saying, as long as you bring me back 100 million a year, it's all yours. Nepotism. It's almost like life is a random game of chance at Monopoly. Despite being like 15 now, if he cannot pass this test, he will relinquish the Kaiba name and be sent back to the orphanage because they definitely accept him at that age. He quickly accepts and gets to work on finding a company with Lecter that he can completely destroy. I mean, take over.
10 million.
No one else can ever have more cards than you as long as you own.
Wow, Seto, you sure had a lot of good cards back then already. A lot of cards that other characters really liked using, too. Like Jinzo, Revival Jam, Mask of Brutality. Somehow you had a crush card virus already. Oh, look, it's Big Shield Gardner, Obnoxious Celtic Guard, Insect Queen, Rocket Warrior, 2 Destiny boards, and are those Exodia pieces? No one's ever been able to summon him before, right? Seto realizes that the magic number to taking over any business is 51. Demanding Lecter put all of his 10 million into a company that doesn't make a lot of money but will be forced to run it in his way. Luckily, in the middle of this flashback, we also get a sneak peek of that conversation that Jeff Bezos had with the local children's hospital.
I'll shut this place down, leaving all your employees jobless. You are horrible.
Despite the fact that this company didn't make a lot of money, it was able to buy itself back at 10 times the value, making Seto 100 million all in one day and taking all the glory for himself, something that Lecter did not approve of. His disapproval is shown greatly when Kaiba attacks that face-down monster, and it's revealed to be the sexiest monster in the land, Cyberjar, destroying all monsters on the field and replacing them with even better ones like Vorse Raider and Twin-Headed Behemoth. Lecter himself gets to summon Injection Fairy Lily to the field,
3,000!
a not at all phallic or suggestive monster that grows really, really big when you give it money. I mean some life points, raising its attack points all the way up to 3,400, destroying Kaiba's Vorse Raider for nearly 2,000 damage. Back to Kaiba's turn, who doesn't play Pot of Greed. Seriously, it's right there. Instead, setting one monster face down before ending his turn. This allows Lecter to tribute his face down monster for the ultimate penis-shaped creation, the satellite cannon. Flying so high into the sky that even Joey, who is somehow being allowed to drive this truck right now, sees it off in the distance. The episode ends with Lex Luthor's satellite targeting Kaiba for having nearly as much money as him. Well, that's it for this episode. I want to thank you all for watching, and of course a shout out to all my channel members and patrons. I don't really have anything clever or bitchy to say about this episode. It's honestly one of my favorites, and I genuinely look forward to Wednesday. What? I can have some normal endings sometimes. This has been the Man from Worth All the Growth, ladies and gentlemen. Be the character you know you're worth. Later. So if you enjoyed, don't forget that sub, that bell, that like, become a member. Going first, he sets the monster in face down position. Form of one of the most powerful monsters in the entire game. Oh my god!